Okay, today we have another student interview. We're going to talk about Mindy's experience in the BlockFlow program. Um, when did you join, Mindy?
Oh my gosh, it feels like I joined uh a long time ago, but has it only been a couple of months?
Yeah,
Um,
I think it has. Yeah, I think you were right here when I was doing kind of the pre-sales for the program. So
yes.
you've seen really version one of the program.
Yep.
And thank you for joining. Um, I would like to try to get into the mindset of where you were before you joined. Like, what was the pain points? What compelled you to join the program in the first place?
Yeah, the last few years, especially since COVID, I think a lot of us are kind of in the same spot or same place is where I've been in crypto for probably since 2020. I was looking at it in 2019. I did really well, but I did well based off of luck as opposed to
Hmm.
being able to, I learned everything I learned off of relative to crypto, whether it's right or wrong, watching YouTube. And I was lucky and we pulled money for investments and a new business and things of that nature. I also lost money. And so I just didn't have a plan. So we're all anticipating the upcoming bull run, and I wanted to be ready for it. And I've been in a place of growth, and not just I, I mean, it's growth on all levels. So spiritually, mentally, physically, just moving into a new me. And that's the process that I was in. So when you of course were I was selective about the YouTubers that I watched for education, and you were one of them. And so I felt pretty confident that I wanted to have an exit strategy and learn from you because I really could relate to you well through your YouTube information and your YouTube education. So it's kind of where I was
Right.
ready to jump in and do make some changes.
Yeah. So I guess what was it about what was it about your experience and your state before joining that really felt like now's the time I gotta do something about it?
Well, honestly, I think it's the bull run timing. I think
Hmm.
even if the bull run wasn't there, I probably would have joined because I really, you're a great educator. You make things very simple to understand. I trust where your information is coming from. But being ready for the next phase of financial gains is really, really important to me at my age. And so I think it was mostly, hey, I got to be ready at this point. I can't play around anymore. I don't have time to play around. So that's really kind of what moved me in that position.
Okay. And you've done tremendously well in here as well. I think the no one has a bad word to say about your contributions to the community as well. It's like you're just a great fit for it. And you've also been very deliberate about getting the stuff done, which is a trait that you need for this. um,
Yeah.
so when you look at the where you started and where you are now, um, uh, tell me a bit about how you're feeling now, having gone through some of the program.
Well, honestly, I planned on jumping into the program and being really and getting through it. Like I'm a go-getter, I'm a risk taker. And um I am and I was and still am very highly motivated. And so in getting into it, I don't feel like I'm that far along, but that's because I'm being extremely mindful of taking each step, like, and taking it to the fullest, making sure that I am actually moving in the direction I want to move. Um, and so I think what's great about this is the ability to, some people are going through it and they're, just absorbing it. and then other people, and then they'll go back and redo it. Other people are doing it like me, where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this mindfully. And not that other people aren't doing it mindfully, that it's just set up very nicely where people can learn the way that they need to learn. Um, and for me, like I said, I am still working on the very beginning stages of your program, but it's so impactful from the very beginning. It has been so impactful. And that's been one of the best things for me, is it fits right into, if you're ready to make a change and if you're ready to move forward and be somebody who can, uh, like get to a place of wealth and wealth management, like, I know I have to change. There's a reason why I'm still doing some of the things that I'm doing. And so your expectation of getting us into the mindset of being able to handle what we're about to face when the bull run happens, having an emotional balance. I just think it's brilliant. I mean, why do we fail at things, or why are we challenged, and why don't we move forward in things? And, the very first part of this is get your head right, get your head on right. And know that if you don't, you may not be able to handle what is down the road for us. And it's huge change. It's going to be volatile. It's going to be risky. And it depends on your risk tolerance, but we have to be prepared for it. And that's one of the things I was a little worried about, was taking an exit strategy course and getting through it, but really not having the mindset to embrace what it actually means to create and have wealth, and then what to do with it afterwards. And so I'm just thrilled with the direction that the course started with, because it's about mindset versus, here, let's get into the technicals, let's, read charts, let's, map things out. And, but, beyond all that, who are you? Who are you to be able to handle what we need to handle? There's a lot of things to consider. And also, I do love the community. It's been really great to have so many people that are aligned, and so just relatable. Everybody's really nice. Everybody's helpful. And I love that everybody is able to go at their own pace and contribute the way they want to or not. And I'm a big contributor, and obviously, but I'm committed to this, and I want to be the best that I can be at it. So
yeah, I think I think what separates this program from any other, I don't really know any other programs, to be honest, but there are some out there. I just don't think, I think everyone has overlooked mentality.
yeah,
And I didn't, and even when I created the program, didn't realize how important the mental side was until I created it as a context for everyone. And then everyone's like, this is what was important.
yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of something you don't think about, and I don't think you find anywhere.
No,
Except
not at
here,
all.
of course.
And I took another course a while back, and it jumped right into all the technical stuff. I mean, it would have been back in, I think, 2020.
Yeah.
But it was that lack of having the right mindset. And also, I would say it jumped into the things technically. So the other thing that I love about this is that it is so user friendly. So there's people that are, my fellow students are, in their 20s all the way up to their, I think, 70s, I don't know, late 70s. And
Yep.
some, and like when you talk about time, it is hugely relevant to us differently, and it matters. And so the program is, you we all are able to use it the way we need to, but it's user friendly, and the technical support that you offer and the wide variety of people that are in the program that are willing to be helpful and contribute,
Mm.
it's different than the course that I took earlier. And the course I took earlier was great. I just didn't have also the resources that you offer that support what we're learning is top notch too. So it's really valuable. And I'm surprised, pleasantly surprised. And so it's fun and it's exciting and it's challenging because you do have to look at who you are right now and who you want to be, and who I am right now may not be able to handle if the future of what I actually want. So putting that together, I feel more confident in completing this course and feeling like, hey, I'm going to get there. So
Yeah. So you're making your way through the program as of right now. You're taking your time to really there's a word that I don't know, it's not a real word, but it's inner stand. It feels like you're going through it so you can really understand the process and the journey, rather than what some people have done is kind of zoom through it just to get the exit strategy to go back and then do the understanding run, I guess. So with the
yeah.
modules that you've completed so far, what's the journey been like there?
Well, what I would say is those people that are zooming through, I think they're getting to a realization that they they have to go back and redo it because they really haven't set who they intentions on who they're going to be. So I think, and that's what I have learned because I am watching and observing and I like literally read
Hmm.
everything and take in everything. So I'm learning from other people, of other people's experience. And so, I run a business and I just don't have the time to, do it multiple times. So I want to do it
Hmm.
as much as I can the right way the first time.
Yeah.
Um, but what my journey's been so far is one of the biggest takeaways so far is my bandwidth. And I feel like I'm one of the only I you don't hear many people talk about the bandwidth part of it, but when you talked about clearing your plate and how there's so much just in our head um, with social media. For me, you talked a lot about social media, but for me, I had email subscriptions, I had
Hmm.
Facebook people, groups that I was attached to, I had books that I wanted to read. I had, and when I actually looked at my bandwidth and everything that I was trying to accomplish, I was like, I, who do I think I am? Like, it's just impossible. And so what it's doing is it's keeping me from moving forward. It's just, I'm like treading water because I'm doing all these things. So, I took that very seriously and I took the social media off my phone and I went through and unsubscribed from things. I'm in the process of cleaning out things on my computer, things that I'm never going to do. And that has like, I have a list and it's still a decent list of what are my commitments. And it's a list of 6 things, the exit strategy being one of them.
Right.
And it's so that's been one of the biggest things is just coming to a realization that um I don't have the bandwidth to do the things that I wanted to do to be able to get to where I want to be, in 5 years or 10 years. Like for me, I want it to be 3 to 5 years. So clearing the table for that. And then also I was already working on the touty part of it, the one uh who who is and does. Is that right? Did I say
Yeah,
it
the one
right?
who doesn't is, yeah.
The one who does is and is. So the touty. Um, and so that fit in really nicely because although I was working on my touty, the way that you outlined how to find, how to figure out who your future self is it was just like, oh, this is easy. And right when you think like, oh, I'm going to need help with this, you turn around and give an explanation that helps me through it. So it flows so nicely. And so that fit into just my life journey anyway. Um, but I don't think I could have gotten there, or I don't think I can go through this course without clearing, clearing my bandwidth, getting myself to a place where I can actually focus on what I need to focus on. So you've actually simplified some things for me, and expanded my ability to receive the information the way that I need to.
Yeah.
It's
I,
just a
I,
short
like
period of time.
yeah, yes, absolutely. And how it's kind of like the question I always ask is like how could I ever expect someone to get what I wanted them to get out of the program if so many other things are in the way?
Yeah.
And you apply that to anything else. it's like, how can I expect to get anything done with a positive mindset today if my desk is messy?
Yeah.
So trying to educate people who have got so much going on, which is like the biggest thing in crypto as well, the overwhelm, the amount of information, the feeling that you need to know more.
Yes.
Like this is all information that gets in the way of actually learning something. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's paramount that I covered that first before even start getting in the program, because you can't, you can't, you can't expect positive results if you don't create a positive environment.
Absolutely. And that is the biggest difference between that and the other course that I took, is that this is preparing you for the education and knowledge and growth and direction you want to go. And I think that that's where a lot of people, I mean, when I look back in my life, that's, and you don't, you set goals and you don't reach them, there's a reason being. And it is bringing me to a place of saying, okay, I have been working on this part of my life for so long and I haven't been successful. Why? It's forcing me to ask those questions. Why? And this is just really important. These are going to be important skills for managing wealth. Whatever wealth comes my way, it could be massive, it could be moderate, it could be a little bit, but I need to really be strategic and focused when that happens. And if I can't get this little goal down here, then I'm going to hit some roadblocks and not know how to handle them in the future.
That's
So,
right. Yeah, certainly. And I love that you've embraced that as well, because it's fully the intention of those modules. Um, so thank you very much for that. So that I will show this to all the other students, because whenever I do one of these interviews, I share it because I'm always quite proud as well. And also there's always learnings for people who are current students who can learn from top students, you know? Um, so what kind of advice, what would you say to people who are current students? And bear in mind, there's people who have all the motivation in the world. There's also people who have got busy with work or something and haven't had enough time to dedicate to the program. Is there kind of one blanket piece of advice you would give to students?
um, I would say, you know, as you ask us to do, take it one step at a time, not worry about the pace you're going, uh, except also don't let too much time pass in between, you know, because you are going to have to work, you are going to have family, you're going to have to, balance this. Um, and really and also be a part of the community. I've actually learned a lot just by reading, and the stuff that comes across that I'm not ready to learn yet, that'll make sense at some point. So I think just be involved with the community, go at your own pace, definitely don't skip any of it. If you feel you need to go through the course, and have a good understanding of it before you commit to it, that's fine, but just know you're going to have to redo it. That's what all the
Mm,
people before me have done. The ones that have kind of moved through it pretty quickly, they're going through a second time. I think some, at least one person is doing it a third time. And I think that just, embracing the fact that this is about forward growth and development, um, and not just an exit strategy.
yeah,
Then I think that's, I mean, it's not hard. It's not, I mean, it will challenge you, but it's not hard to do. It's even the technical stuff you provide, technical support for those of us who aren't as familiar with the common technical tools that are out there. The younger people are whizzing right through it, and us in our 50s and 60s and 70s are like, oh crap. But you help us with that. And so, be up for the challenge, know you're supported, and learn at your pace and how you need to do it, and embrace the community. I mean, I literally, when I went in, and not that anybody should do this, it's just a part of who I am. I read through a lot of the past comments and
Mm.
just know what people went through. So I'm a big, I like to learn from other people's experiences. I like to know what's coming down the road. So
Yep.
that's the reason I did it. And I learned a lot just from the questions people ask technically, or about the courses and things like that. So being a part of the community, I think allows you to just get different perspectives on what you're doing and how other people are doing, and not to compare and see if you're doing to, hey, am I doing this wrong, or if I'm doing it right, but just perspective. So
Yeah. And that's it. The community is another resource that you can bolt onto this thing if you so inclined. Um,
yes.
and just I don't know why I'm adding it in here. I probably should do it in the program, but the if you've got a question yourself, you can just kind of pull the keyword out of that question, type it in the top, and you'll see if anyone else has asked the same question. So you can kind of quickly get answers to things as well. It's kind of a good resource for that.
Yeah,
Um,
and I've done that. I've actually used that source just how you described it. And I do think that oh, there's something that went through my mind, but to your point, that it is a great source. Um, and it works. Oh, really the platform is really easy to
yeah,
navigate. So and you have it laid out so well. So it's just, I am really happy and really excited to continue down the road in the exit strategy, and can't wait to get to the end. But I know knowing me, I'm gonna take my time and get there the way I need to get there.
absolutely. And it does, and I've said this before, and you've heard me say it, but it really it feels like a slow start, but towards the end, it all kind of wraps up really quick. Um,
Yes.
and so yeah, you don't need to rush. As you're not. So there's also a series of people who potentially will watch this who are on the fence essentially. They're on their way through the sales process here, and they've seen the landing page, they've watched my content maybe, um, but they're not sure. They're not sure whether this is something for them. Do you have a piece of advice for them as well?
Well, I think this is an investment in yourself in a way that you have no idea.
Hmm.
And it's going to be, it's worth, um, I would say I'm not even, I'm maybe, I don't even think I'm a third way through. And I'm getting so much from it already that the price point is already given, it's already worth it all. Um, and I think that, to your point, where I'm going to get to a place where I have an exit strategy. Those who have actually gone through it and completed it, they have their exit strategy. They're just going through to maybe fine tune their touty, or to make sure that hey, I'm going to make some adjustments. I mean, who we are as people, it's just constant growth. So even after
Hmm.
you finish this course, there might have been some growth that would change who you want to be, or what your goals might be. So I know that I'm going to walk away with what I signed up for, but what I didn't know I was going to walk away with is a better uh, mind frame, a better ability to grasp the information, a better ability to embrace the future. And so I think for anybody who is interested in taking the course, um, I, there's just nothing out there like this relative to crypto. And it's critical because, I mean, this is probably one of the only ways that we're going to be able to build the kind of wealth that we need to. It's going to happen relatively quickly.
Hmm.
So preparing yourself for that, it, I think we need to be prepared now. There's just so much going on in the world right now that leads us to uncertainty. So you got to be able to be in control of who you are, or you need to be able to control what you can control. And this is going to actually help you with that mindset of, not be emotionally driven during these times as much as possible. You're going to embrace who you need to be in this course to get to where you want to go, relative to an exit strategy and beyond. So it's worth it.
Absolutely. I very much view this conversation as part one. I think there's going to be a part 2 when you're done with the whole thing.
Sure.
And that will be it'll be interesting to watch the progress there as well. And obviously I'm watching every day as well the progress that everyone's making. But so just to verify that you're a real person, what who are you, and like what's your do you have a you talk about your business, so where people can find you?
Yeah, I'm the owner of Noble Beast Dog Training in Denver, Colorado. We've been around for 15 years. So if you go to noblebeastdogtraining.com, you will find me in the About Us page. And we our mission is to keep dogs in their forever home. So we're saving dogs that way. And it aligns nicely because we coach people in dog training using scientific and humane methods. So for 15 years, we've been doing this kind of training, and so we don't teach using fear, pain, or intimidation. And it's really one of those things where we help a lot of people and a lot of dogs. And so I mentioned that because I feel like this program aligns with that. You're going to be helping a lot of people, and I think that's one of the things that we all strive to do, is how can we contribute to and to humanity and society and all the things that we're doing. So I can't wait to see also what this does for my business. But as far as finding me, as relative to being a real person, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and I mostly just do business stuff. So there's not going to be a whole lot of personal stuff there, but certainly you can look me up. And if anybody is interested in asking me more about the program, just reach out to me, through Facebook or Instagram or wherever. And yeah, so that's who I am, and I'm really excited, and I'm really excited for my future.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Mindy. You've been top tier student, and it's been really fun to watch. And
Thank you.
I'm even more excited to see how this goes as well as you progress through.
Pressure? No, I'm joking.
No,
I
I
think
mean
it's fun.
you've got the energy, you've got the motivation, the desire, and the what's the word? Steadfastness to get it done. So
Yeah, and I am excited for everybody in the program. I think that it's not just going to be me, but you're going to have you're probably going to have to do like before and afters for everybody, because everybody is going to go through changes, and it's going to be amazing. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we start to get price movement as the kind of real cherry on the top here, the
yeah,
I think I'll be doing a lot of these calls. Um, and
absolutely.
that'd be I mean that'd be so much fun. Anyway, thank you very much.